PFT Live from the Scouting Combine. Charean Williams and Myles Simmons with me here in Indianapolis. So, the competition committee has been meeting. This is the early stage of figuring out what rule changes, if any, will be made. Replay review continues to be a hot topic. And the league is going to consider allowing replay officials throw penalties for non-football acts that haven't been penalized on the field. There is a huge reluctance to allowing replay to drop a flag. There is one situation where replay can already drop a flag. You know what it is. Do you know what it is?
I don't.
12 men on the field.
Oh, yeah.
That was one of the original because it's undeniable, it's objective.
Yes,
the
it's
guy either
objective.
got off the field or he didn't.
Boom.
So I don't know why they're reluctant to allow it, but they are, and I did some reporting on this for the Super Bowl pregame show. They just have this reluctance to move too quickly, and I don't know why, because they're going to get there eventually.
Yes.
And the problem is, as more plays become subject to review, fewer aren't, and it creates this weird thing when you're watching a game like, hey, that's clearly wrong.
Yep.
Why
Fix
isn't
it.
that subject to review? Well, it just isn't. Well, why isn't it? Everything else is. So at some point, they're just going to have to stop doing the inchworm thing, and they're just going to have to say everything's reviewable except for this, this, and this. I wish they would just do that. And it's the Bill Belichick challenge, everything. Everything's reviewable, and here are the small handful of exceptions of plays that aren't reviewable.
I mean, the face mask penalty to me is the big one because they miss it so many times. And
it's clear and it's obvious.
And it's
Yes.
clear and it's obvious and it's a big penalty and it's a big play in the game. And yet they don't get the 15 yards. They don't get the first down. And we just move on like it didn't happen when it did happen, clearly. And everybody saw it except the officials.
Right. It's the whole Mike Ehrman chart, right? No more half measures.
Yep.
But this continues to be a half measure, a half measure, a half measure, and you just want them to get to the full measure of, okay, let's just make these things reviewable because we, like as you said, Mike, it's going in this direction anyway.
This is an example of just how the institution works. They are reluctant to move quickly. They are reluctant to move radically, even if they know this is where it's going. And that's what drives me crazy, because every year that the universe of reviewable plays expands and the universe of non-reviewable plays shrinks, it becomes more and more glaring. And when we get one of these donut holes where game was decided by horrible call and there wasn't a damn thing we could do about it because by rule it can't be reviewed. I hate that. And I think they understand that that problem is there, but they can't push back against the culture and the owners. I mean, think about it. I mean, I don't want to get myself in trouble here.
Where are you going?
But I am technically a senior, so I can say, what a shock that a bunch of old people are resistant to change. What a shock.
Yeah.
Right? As evidenced by my iPhone.
Well, no, that's you embracing change, actually. But no, I think part of it, too, is, when you have these things, you don't want it to be too expansive. And that's, if people are, entrenched in what they know, they don't want to go too far away from what it is that they know because of the fear of the unknown. And, like, what is it that you could be opening when you take a look at Pandora's box and you say, okay, well, now that we start reviewing this, is this too far? Are we on the slippery slope?
You know what's in Pandora's box, according to Sims? You know what's in Pandora's box?
I don't
Pandora.
know. Okay.
That's what Sims thinks. Pandora is in Pandora's box.
Or Pandora
He thinks she
jewelry.
lives in the box.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
Sorry.
You've been the proponent of this because you don't want games to go any longer than what they're going. We don't
Right.
want to slow it down with all these replays, but you've been the big proponent of the Sky Judge. And that's the way you get through this and get through it quickly. And you do drop flags and you do correct things quickly. And we don't have a delay of getting a full review.
And it's not my suggestion that you just have the replay assistant actively involved. I have said for years, put someone in the black and white stripes. They're a member of the crew.
Yeah.
Right.
And they're up there actively participating in the first look. And they're saying to the referee, hell, you think of all of, like an Ed Hockley. You get to a point where you just can't physically avoid getting trampled by the gladiators anymore, but you have years of experience, you have an intimate knowledge of the rule book. You get up in the booth and you are basically a step above the referee.
Yeah.
And you're in charge, and you know, there's an element of deference there that could get awkward.
Yep.
But you have the benefit of seeing what everyone sees at home. And none of the officials on the field have that. And I've said for years, they need to bridge the gap between what we see on the 75-inch Ultra 10K 53, whatever the numbers are now that is the best, and what they're seeing while they're trying to not get run over.
Exactly.
With the naked eye.
100%. 100%.
That's they need to, and it's so simple.
It is. But
Why
that's
would
why
they
they
It's
want
an
to
easy
do it.
fix.
Yeah. Well, they don't think they need to.
Yeah.
They don't think they need to. Until there's some massive scandal, controversy that embarrasses them, and they'll act like they just thought that maybe this is something they should do, then that's when they'll do it. But
Oh, and we've seen so many plays decided by non-calls. Our Sam Darnold one from 2024 season in the end zone. Remember that? And the face mask was
Yeah.
grabbed.
Yeah.
The
Oh, I remember that
Vikings, that basically that could have given the Vikings a chance to win that
Yeah.
game.
Yeah.
And then you have the pass interference in the NFC Championship
Yep.
game, which they tried to fix and decided
Well, that was a
after 1
disaster.
year that was a complete and total
I
disaster.
I don't think so.
I think they did what I did the first and only time they made me cut the grass when I was growing up. If you screw it up so bad, they'll never ask you again, and they'll regret that they asked you. I think that the league, they were under
Weaponized
pressure. They
incompetence.
were under pressure, and they decided we're going to screw this up so bad you're going to wish you'd never asked for replay for pass interference. But there was one in the Super Bowl missed. Josh Jobe.
Yeah.
Not only was it out of bounds, he put him on his ass.
Yeah.
Which should have been flagged, as Terry McCauley said during the broadcast. But then when Diggs approaches him, Jobe hits him twice. Now, and Diggs is grabbing his face mask. I'm surprised Diggs didn't get fined.
That's a
There
closed fist.
Yeah, there is an element of, we're going to forgive the guy that does something that violates the rules if he is sufficiently provoked. But you see him grab it, but there's an open hand and a closed fist.
Yeah.
And he got fined for the hit out of bounds and for one of the incidents of striking, but there was no flag. And that's a prime example of one where, boom, you hit the button and it's a flag. And they shouldn't have missed that. It's just amazing to me the instances where officials, while this chaos is unfolding among them, won't throw a flag.
That was an obvious one. Like,
Yes.
that's not one that you miss. I mean, the official is right there when he's taking the
Exactly.
swing. Like, you just don't miss that one.
Right. Yeah. I mean, he had his eyes closed at a certain point because he was trying to avoid, the players like almost hitting him in the face. The weird part about that sequence was that was also when the idiot came on the field, right? And so
Right.
then that I don't know if that it shouldn't have affected then the enforcement of what should have been that penalty, but that was a weird sequence in that game because you then had the two dumbasses. There you go on the field.
Yeah, that's still dumbass is not.
Nah. Okay.
No, dumbass is
Nah,
not.
no.
Hi, it's Mike Florio. Thanks for watching PFT on YouTube. Hit subscribe for the latest news and analysis from Pro Football Talk.